we had good times, with the girls. I look back at it, but I've been getting all kinds of criticism from fans that read the Kiss and Tell book and saying I was a hanger-on and things like that. And if they really knew me, you can't know me just by one book.
Right.
I was never a hanger-on or quote-unquote, in that category. But we had fun with the girls when we went out, and that was one of the things that we bonded with.
Right.
And I always got beautiful girls before I met Ace. I got beautiful girls while I was friends with Ace, and I got them after. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, this was one that I found kind of bizarre, but it seemed like it came through many times when you guys were out looking at girls. He seemed to think that girls would really notice you guys if you guys started kissing. What's up with that?
That was the weirdest thing, man. We never did it.
Yeah, I know. You kept denying it in the book. You said no.
We never did it. So no, but the first time we were in a bar and we saw two beautiful girls, and they kind of looked over and they see these rock and roll type guys.
Right.
And Ace leans over and he goes, "You want to get laid?" I hope I could say that on the radio.
That's all right.
And I go, I said, "Yeah, I'm checking them out. I'm eyeballing these girls." And he goes, "Come on, let's make out." And I was like, "What?" I knew what he said, but I had to have him repeat it. I said, "What the hell are you saying?" Right? He goes, "Come on, let's kiss." And the girls, they'll really dig it. I said, "Ace, it applies the other way around. Guys like seeing girls doing that." I said, "I don't think it applies this way." And he always, there was a couple of times he was really smashed, and he would try to convinced me that it was a way to get laid. And I said, "Nah, I don't think I'll stoop down to that level."
Gotcha. Well, hey, why don't you tell me about the night you jammed on stage at the Meadowlands with Motley Crue?
Motley Crue, that was a lot of fun. Ace called me up. I was playing with a band called Bang Gang, and great singer. This girl MaryAnn Scandiffio was the lead singer, and I was doing a lot of work with them in the studio. And then Ace called me at the studio and said, "You want to go down and see Motley Crue?" So my work was done, and I said, "Yeah, I'll go down." I didn't expect anything. I expected just to see Motley Crue perform. Well, we went down there. We went backstage. Ace knew the guitar tech, and he used to be Ace's guitar tech. And we met up with Heather Locklear, Meatloaf, and all these people backstage. So one of the techs comes up to Ace and goes, "They want you to come on stage and jam for the encore." And Ace goes, "All right, yeah, that's no problem." And I said, "Wow." And I nudged Ace, and I looked at the pianos up there, two grand pianos up there. And Ace grabs the guy, and he goes, "Hey, can my friend here play on the pianos, right?" And he said, "My guy, can my guy here play on the piano? He plays keyboards." And the guy goes, "Yeah." And he went back. Long story short, we ended up going on stage and playing with Motley Crue, and I ended up getting blown up with flash pots. I didn't even know they had the flash bombs there, and they were blowing off all around me. It was like Vietnam.
Gotcha. Well, hey, I guess we'll get to your side of the story and kind of why you wrote the book. I guess, did you and Ace, did you guys start it together, the fan club Rock Soldiers? Rock Soldiers was a club that he had from John Regan in Frehley's Comet, the first album. And I just did some sample work and a couple of keyboard things on the first album. And I wasn't that involved with the business end. I was just, a studio guy coming in doing stuff for him. Mm-hmm. And John Regan was running this pseudo club, fan club for him. And then I hooked up Ace with this manager, a new manager, and this manager had big plans for Ace and wanted to get me involved in the business end because I owned several successful businesses on the side. Being a musician, it's a roller coaster economically. And I always took that money, whatever. I was good with money. Right. And I always made great businesses. So this manager wanted me to, hook up with Ace with this business. And I knew how Ace was, with finances and money. He was very irresponsible. He had a warped business sense, huh? It was weird. When Ace had money, he would just throw it away. I mean, literally throw away money. And it was such a waste. I mean, there's times where I say, if you're a millionaire or you make millions of dollars, there's times you could be, have fun in this and that. But he was totally 24 hours irresponsible with money. Mm-hmm. He never invested a dollar he would make. He would just spend and spend and spend, and he would always think the money was always going to come in, at that level. Right. And he learned the hard way. And so I guess that's kind of where you guys had your falling out, though, is when you were kind of on the business side?
I ended up on the business side. We had a really good business deal because it took a couple months to nail down all the details of the business deal.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I said, I've gone into business with friends, and I've never had a problem with a friend going in business, and even ending a business with a friend.
Right.
So I knew, people always say don't go into business with your friends, but if you nail things down and hammer out a good deal, it could be a fruitful thing, and if you know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the deal, and but basically what we did was Ace and I went into this Rock Soldiers Incorporated thing, and I wanted a third party to deal with. I didn't want to deal with Ace directly because I knew we'd have fights, argument over money. I said, we got to have a third person to deal with, and we did, and that's how the deal went down. Ace went and fired the third person, that we were intermediating all the businesses through.
Mm-hmm.
So now we had to deal with each other directly, and that was the downfall of the whole business.
Gotcha.
And then he started, and there wasn't even enough reason to publicly say anything about it. But like I said before, once he started pointing fingers at me, I'm stealing money, I'm embezzling, I'm doing this, he turned fans against me. I was getting death threats and all kinds of crazy things. He used me as a scapegoat.
Right.
And that's why Kiss and Tell got written.
Gotcha. Good stuff. Well, what are you up to now?
Right now, I'm finishing up the second book, Kiss and Tell More.
Okay.
I'm under a real stressful deadline on it. And I'm actually doing a CD, recording in the studio, too, with Ron Lejack, who was the first guitar player to play with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley in a band called Wicked Lester. And he's played with Cactus, he's played with Stevie Wonder, he has a long list of credits of who's who. And it's just an honor to be playing with this guy and putting an album out for the Kiss fans, basically, to show what Ron could have been, in Kiss.
Right.
It's kind of like what could have been kind of CD.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gordon, that's great stuff. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
True. It was more than a pleasure to do this with you.
All right.
I'm sorry my voice is not up to par, though.
Oh, that's all right. Get some throat lozenges and get some rest.
Thank you.
That was Gordon Gebert. He's author of Kiss and Tell. It's a revealing book about his life and times with Ace Frehley of the band Kiss. The publisher is Pitbull Publishing, and the book is available in Barnes & Noble and other bookstores everywhere, or you can get more information by emailing kissbook@aol.com. I'm Drew Hamilton for Book Talk. We'll see you next time.